review of Winning with People by John C Maxwell, right? And today we're going to examine the hammer principle. We've looked at the lens principle, the mirror principle, the pen principle, and now the hammer principle. Never use a hammer to swat a fly off someone's head. The situation is not as bad as that, right? It hasn't gotten to that point. So this is Winning with People, a book that teaches you how to have your way with people, how to get along with people, how to work on yourself in case you are the problem in the relationship. Good evening once again, everybody. Now let's get into it. The author started by telling us a story about he and his wife. Like when they newly got married, they thought that everything was going to be rosy. My day has been great. Thank you so much. I hope yours, has been so great as well. Thank you for asking. Right. So they got married like everybody else, thinking that everything was going to be so rosy, but before they knew it, they found themselves in all kinds of minor disagreements. And because he is very, very good with persuasion, with speaking, leveraging his skill as a public speaker, as a leader, he would always want to win every argument. And so every time he won an argument, his wife had to lose that argument. And before long, he discovered that it was actually causing problem in their marriage. Right. The wife did not like it at all. He did not realize that winning at all costs could eventually jeopardize their marriage. He did not know that emotionally he was beating down his wife. They never had any heated argument or anything. Their arguments were always controlled, but he always made sure that he won the argument until his wife pointed out to him one day. I really like this because a lot of people may not point it out. They'll just keep giving you attitude, and before you know it, they said that they are having irreconcilable differences, and that will be the end of the marriage. If the wife had not acted in a wise way like she did, he himself said that their marriage may have ended. They may not even be married today. And from that day, he decided to change. When his wife expressed her feelings, how she felt every time he had to win an argument and she had to lose, he decided to soften his approach, to listen more, and to stop making big deals out of little things, right? To stop using a hammer when you can actually use a soft cloth on a situation. If he had hammer, you would be tempted to use it all the time. Now, you may want to embrace this 4Ts. He calls them 4Ts, right? Anytime you are tempted to overkill, anytime you are tempted to use a hammer, anytime you are tempted to overreact, to do something that is extreme, in any situation, maybe there's an argument, maybe there's a situation, any difficult circumstance, and you find yourself overreacting, you really want to just like we learned yesterday, you are kind of aggressive. Now, soft pedal and consider using the 40s. Number one, look at the total picture. What is the total picture like? Because you can't just act on one thing that somebody said and then you run with it. You make your conclusion based on that. You may want to examine a whole other factors. Is there something that this person is not telling me? Is this person behaving like this because she's having a bad day? When you listen more, you'll be able to act better. Most times we act irrationally, we overreact because we really don't listen to the other person. As in, I'm talking of deep listening to the spoken and unspoken words, reading in between the lines. Right. So do you come to conclusion long before the problem has been laid before you, and then you jump at it to say, no way, I'm not going to take that? No, calm down. Examine the total picture. Don't be like this bartender. A middle-aged man entered his cocktail lounge and told him that, do you have anything to cure hiccups? And before the man even landed, he brought out like a rag and slapped it across the man's face. And the man was like, what's this? What have you done? And the bartender said, is the hiccup still there? At least your hiccup is gone. And the man said, no, I never had a hiccup. I was trying to ask for my wife who is in the car. She's the one who has a hiccup. But look at that. The bartender already hit him in the face with a rag. So sometimes we overreact, we throw tantrum, we do things, we become aggressive when we do not have the total picture. We are not calm enough, right? So try to listen, ask questions, listen again, ask some more questions, listen some more before you respond. The second T is timing. Dan Zadra said that it is what you do, not when you do it, that counts. And this is actually wrong. I've made a video, sometime. I made a video sometime about this, that timing is very, very important in any relationship, in communication. So it is not really about what you do, like Dan Zadra says. It is not about that. Timing is as important as what you do, as what you say, the time you say it. If you are married, for example, there are some things you don't discuss with your spouse. When they are in a particular mood, you don't say, I'm just going to say it anyway. No, you may not get the kind of response that you are looking for. It may make them flare up, you become insensitive. Like, don't you see that somebody has just lost a huge amount of money? And that is the time you choose to ask him to lend you some money for your own business. That is going to be insensitive. Or somebody is mourning the death of a loved one, and that is when you're trying to crack some silly jokes. That is wrong timing. If you are married, again, you want to get, as a woman, you want to get a huge amount of money from your husband. You know the exact time to go to him when he's relaxed, he's in a good mood, he has just finished eating, both of you are talking, heart to heart, you're holding hands. Then throw the bombshell at that time. He will likely give it to you if he has it. Right. But when you go to him when he's grumpy, business did not do well, he lost money, and then you're saying, oh, I want to buy some clothes, you will make the kind of reaction that you don't like, right? So timing is everything. You may lose a relationship if you don't apologize on time. If your child is sick and you don't quickly take him or her to the hospital, God forbid bad thing, right? So timing is very, very important. When you act is as important as taking the right action. Even knowing when not to act can also be important. You really have something to say, but you can't say it at this time. That is wisdom. The third T is tone. The tone with which you say something. There is a tone that you don't use in a particular situation, right? And this is not just about spoken words. Even when you are writing, sometimes I pay a lot of attention to my written words because I feel that the person is not seeing my face, the person is not seeing my body language. So if I write it in a particular tone, they may misunderstand it. Some may come as arrogant, some may come as rude, some may come as nonchalant, right? So you want to use the right words. You even want to use the right emoji. Sometimes when I say something that may come across as being serious, I use an emoji to tone it down. So your tone is very, very important. There are some people who will talk to somebody or some other people and they will get all that they want. You will talk to the same people and you will not get anything. You may even get a slap. Right, your tone is very, very important. People often respond to our attitudes and actions more than to our words. What is your body language like? Some people don't make sales because their body language is telling the customer, I don't care. If you don't like it, go to another store. They may not mean it, but that is what the body language suggests. The writer of Proverbs stated, a soft answer, not anger. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Haven't you found that to be true? If not, try these experiments. The next time someone says something to you in anger, respond with gentleness and kindness. I can testify to this. When somebody is hot, and they are angry, they are saying all kinds of words, you now return with gentle words, kindness, calmness, right? And then you see, they will tone down their own anger as well, or their own tone. It will soften their attitude. They will be like, with all this, my aggression, this person is not even angry. They will tone it down. Otherwise, they will look crazy. They will feel crazy. The fourth T, temperature. Temperature. What is your temperature like? What is your temper like? People are prone to dropping bombs when using a slingshot will do. Every time your temper is just high, you're just shouting, your children cannot even stay near you, you're screaming everywhere. Go and bring the cane, I'm beating you today. You're shouting at their mom, you're shouting at the children, they everywhere is tensed up. It can cause a lot of problem, a lot of pressure. What is the size of the problem? It may not even require that kind of aggression and overreaction. The problem is so small. So you have to check yourself. Like we learned yesterday, it may be that you are dealing with hurt. There is an underlying problem that is making you behave like that. It is not about the situation. It is about you. There is something that is deeper than what we see on the surface that you are dealing with. So you really have to sit yourself down and deal with it. There's a rule that the author uses. He uses the reprimand rule to guide himself when he's tempted to have a very hot temper. It is take 30 seconds to share your feelings. Whatever you want to say, how angry you are, the way you feel, you are not happy, don't say it for more than 30 seconds. Because if you go on and on and on about it, your anger will be rising. Your temper will be rising. You keep boiling. And then before you know it, you say things that you're going to regret. So trade in your hammer for a velvet glove. Examine the situation and use a softer approach. Right. So if you desire to develop a softer touch with people, take the following advice to heart. I'll run through them very quickly. Let the past stay in the past. Anytime there is a problem, there is an issue, resolve it. And once it is resolved, don't bring it up again. Don't keep reminding the person, and that was how you did in 1965. That was the same thing you did when we went to your cousin's house. You're doing it again. Let it slide. You cannot keep bringing up their hurts, their mistakes every time. Right? Forgive and let it go. Number 2, ask yourself, is my reaction part of the problem? Like I just said now, maybe the way you are reacting has nothing to do with the situation. It has nothing to do with what happened. Sorry. You are reacting to something else. There's something else that is hurting you, not the situation. Number 3, remember that actions are remembered long after words are forgotten. Yes, people may not remember what you said to them, but they will not forget how you made them feel. They will not forget how you treated them. Right? You cannot possibly remember your wedding vows or what your lecturers taught you when you were in school. Even as I say that, I can't even remember all the things I said during my wedding, the vows, or the specific lectures I took at school. But I probably will not forget some of my lecturers, the way they treated me. In fact, as I speak, I remember one of them. Let me not mention her name. Right. Oh, my God. I can never forget in my life. And even as I still speak now, I remember some of them, the nice ones, the harsh ones, and all of that. So that is this. That is it. The way you treat people will stay with them a lot longer than the words you choose. So act accordingly. Then never let the situation mean more than the relationship. Relationships are based on bonding. The more important the relationship, the greater the bond. There will be more about this in the situation principle that we're going to see as we proceed in this book, not today. Right. Focus on the relationship. Do you want the relationship shattered and destroyed? Everybody goes their separate ways, if that is what you want. But I'm sure that's not what you want, right? Then treat loved ones with unconditional love. They've wronged you in the past. Don't use it to taunt them. Don't gossip about them. When we love people, we don't criticize them. We love them. Their failures will hurt us. Their mistakes will affect us because we genuinely want the best for them. Not when they do something, we see it as a way to gossip. We quickly come on social media. It baffles me when people bring other people's matters on social media and they pretend as if they are trying to help. In fact, there was a time a gospel artist in Nigeria was having issues. Everybody was just bashing her. Let me even mention her name, Tokpe Alabi. When she was having issues, sorry if you don't know her, she's a Nigerian gospel artist, right? There was a time she was having issues. She said some things about Yinka Alasheyori, when she sang, what's the song? It skipped my head now. Oniduro mi eshe. Sorry if you don't understand, you are not a Nigerian, right? And Tokwe Alabi said some things, and a lot of people were bashing her. She shouldn't have said that. And so many of our colleagues came out like they've had this deep-seated, thank you, Thank you. Like they've had this deep-seated anger against her, against Tokwe Alabi. And they started coming out, oh, she's so proud, she's too pompous, you know. They started saying all kinds of things, like they've been looking for the perfect opportunity. So many of them said so many things, but I cannot forget one veteran gospel musician. He's not reigning again. I used to reign in those days. We've not heard of him in a long time, but during that whole saga, he came out and said all kinds of terrible things again about Tokpe Alabi. Oh, she's too pompous, and he tried to cover it up with, let's just pray for her. Let's really pray for her. I'm saying this so that we can pray for her. No, that is not genuine prayer. You are not genuinely seeking her good. After you have destroyed somebody with your words, and then you say, let's pray for her. You want to use that to cover up. A lot of people do that. And I'm just doing it. So if you wanted to pray for her, you wouldn't say all those terrible things on social media about her. No. People make mistakes. Many of us say things that we shouldn't say. We react in ways that we shouldn't react, right? And then if we're always quick to castigate people, and at the end of the day, you try to massage it and dress it up with, let's pray for her. You have another motive. So love people unconditionally. Don't be quick to gossip about them, to criticize them. We don't advertise the sins of people we love anymore than we advertise our own. If you are the one that make the mistakes, will you come out to castigate yourself and say damaging words about yourself? No. Then the last one, admit wrongs and ask for forgiveness, or ask forgiveness. Forgiveness is better. Admitting you are wrong and asking for forgiveness can cover a multitude of sins. Don't allow your ego to get in the way. Just, I'm sorry. It can fix a lot of problems. Not everybody trying to be right. Okay. Now, you need to really look at yourself. The problem with most individuals who use the hammer all the time is that they may not know that they do it. Sometimes we don't even realize these things. We don't know that our actions hurt other people. They go back to their closet and they cry because they feel like, what have I done that made him talk to me in that manner? You know, so you may really want to check out yourself. You may really want to check yourself. Sorry. Let your colleagues hold the mirror and tell you what they see. What do they see about you? How do they perceive you? If you don't believe them, now go to your loved ones, your spouse, your family members, your friends. Let them give you their honest feedback about you. If you do that, we'll find out whether you treat others as people or as nails. If you really treat people as people, then you'll be more compassionate, you'll be more gentle, you'll be kinder. But if you see them as nails, every time they hurt you in the slightest way, you will pick up a hammer, you will drive the nail into the wall. Oh, and that is a terrible thing to do, right? May God help us all. If you do the latter, then you need to make a change. If you see people as nails, that you can always hit every time, you don't care how they feel, you don't care, you know, what becomes of them, then look inward and make a change. Thank you so much for joining me tonight to review Winning with People, right, by John C Maxwell. We've come to the end of chapter 4. Yes, please don't forget to like this video, share your thoughts with me in the comment section below, and please subscribe to this channel in case you're yet to subscribe. I remain Olaide Agbaje, also known as First Lady, and on this channel I inspire you to live intentionally. We're going to come together again as we review the elevator principle. We can lift people up or take people down in our relationships. It is going to be another exciting review. Until then, be intentional. Bye. You're welcome, everybody. Thank you.